Tom Peninsula in the Philippines, on the island of Luzon. After a series of bloody and long skirmishes, the U.S. forces, under-equipped and lacking supplies, surrendered to the Imperial Japanese Army. This was the largest surrender in U.S. history to date. Over 76,000 Filipinos and American soldiers were captured and forced into labor, prison camps, or executed. By early 1945, only about 300 of the original American POWs remained in the Philippines. They were held at Cabanatuan, a prison camp that would become notorious for starvation, brutality, and anguish endured by its prisoners. This is the story of the Ghost Soldiers, from imprisonment to liberation. So, sir, could you please state your name, your rank, and your branch of service, please?
My name is Captain Prince. I served in the United States Army. I'm retired now, of course.
Well, sir, we've gone over your record of service, and it's really quite impressive, especially your command of the Rangers during the Cabanatuan raid in the 6th Army. Could you give us some background about the raid, why you guys were sent in?
Of course, we were sent in to rescue the hundreds of prisoners of war held by the Japanese at the Cabanatuan camp. We used the Army Rangers, which was a new untested force that was supposed to be better than just sending in a large occupying force. We took parts of F Company and C Company of the United States 6th Army and worked with local Filipino guerrillas. We had word from our Alamo scouts that there was harsh conditions, such as diseases that the Japanese weren't accustomed to treat our men for, so we were worried about them.
Now, Captain, who was your superior for this operation? Could you just talk about him for a little bit?
So my commanding officer was Colonel Mucci, and he had an interesting personality. He always knew that he could be in control of the situation, and I appreciated the steady hand, but he also had a good personality and had a way of interrupting us sometimes, but he always knew what was right.
Now, men, our objective...
Now, you're gonna give me a second. Now, boys, this will be a dangerous mission. Not all of you will make it out alive. Except for myself, I will definitely make it out alive. Now, you will make sure no harm comes to those boys. You will kill every last Japanese scum holding those boys. You will take them all out. Even if you have to carry them out on your backs.
As I was saying, our positions
Now,
will
I
be...
said, not now, Captain Princess. Thank you. Now, anybody that doesn't feel lucky can get out. I only want you if you feel lucky. And one more thing. I will have no atheists on this trip. I will have each and every one of you swear an oath before God. Now, do we have any questions?
Sir, what's going on?
Great! No questions. Dismissed.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. It's great to finally meet you. Could you just, for the audience, briefly introduce yourself and talk to us about why you were here today?
Well, my name is Edward Thomas. You can call me Tommy. When Bataan was overrun, I was a lieutenant in the Signal Corps. I spent 3 years as a prisoner of the Japanese, and most of that time at Cabanatuan. In that time, I lost about half my body weight, had cerebral malaria, and was only liberated by the Army Rangers in January of 1945.
In discussing with some of the liberators and the liberated, we just want to learn a little bit more. What was your diet like at the prison camp? Could you talk to us about that?
A diet? In the hellhole that was that prison camp, we mostly scrounged for food. If we got an allotment at all, it was a tiny ball of rice, or maybe a rotting fish head. I got used to eating almost anything I could get. We would scavenge, forage, even steal for food. We had a special technique we used to steal commanders' ornamental ducks. It's called gorking.
So, did you guys ever have enough to eat?
Never. Never. I can't tell you some of the things I ate while there. I could fit my 2 hands around my waist. I was so skinny.
Now, so, how are you guys able to get the food, or...?
As I said, stealing, scrounging, but sometimes it was a blessing when the food came to us.
When the food came to you?
I can feel something nibbling on my toes.
is it? Oh my god, there's a big fat rat nibbling on my toenails. Let's bash the son of a bitch. Wait, I don't want him to bite me. Hey!
This'll make a lovely dinner. Bert, get the pot.
Yes, sir.
Well, we'd like to thank you very much for coming back in, Captain Prince, but I don't believe we've met with you so far. Could you please introduce yourself, sir?
Private Burt Banks, sir, from the great state of Alabama, sir.
Thank you very much for coming in again, guys. Can you guys just tell me a little bit about the experience you guys had the night the camp was liberated?
Well, the night the camp was liberated, I originally thought it was all a Japanese hoax.
Yeah, the technology the Rangers were using had advanced so much that they actually weren't able to figure out that it was Americans coming to rescue them. They thought it was a Japanese hoax, just trying to goad them into breaking the rules in which they would just kill more prisoners as punishment.
So, with that fear in mind, what made you change your mind?
Well, there were these big boys claiming they was Americans, and instead they had this seemingly Martian equipment. And one of them comes up to me and says,
And don't forget to scan from side to side. Could be anywhere. All clear. Approaching the target. All right. Let's go, men.
Who are you?
From Oklahoma, I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, is it done already? Oh. Thank you very much for watching the story of the Ghost Soldiers.
And we worked with local.
Dylan Dab!